Too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love.
Nice.
Love's going to leave me.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt. So
All right.
sexy it hurts.
Welcome and good afternoon, everybody. Courtney and Steven would like to thank you for traveling from near and far to celebrate their special occasion with them. They have kindly requested that this be an unplugged ceremony. They have hired professionals to capture the event and request that you remain fully present in the events and ceremony. There will be plenty of time for pictures later. Thank you, and the ceremony will begin shortly.
Tiptoed in a room, I know you got to have your rest. She says, come lay beside me. I've been waiting since you left. She's sweet to me. Must be the luckiest man alive. Did I tell you, baby, you are the joy of my life.
There it is.
First time that I saw
Help you out.
you, you took my breath away.
Too sexy for my shirt. Yeah, I might. I shouldn't be saying. gives this bride to be married to this groom?
I do.
Shake his hand.
Shake his hand?
Come here, come here.
Not mine.
Oh, you look beautiful. You gotta hand off your flowers.
Yeah, I figured.
Please be seated.
You're exciting.
Oh, you have to put me on the sun.
Yeah, absolutely. You had to be,
you just
you had to
stand
be
a little
going.
bit
Well, I'm gonna be completely blacked out, so
You're going to be great.
Thank you. Thank you.
thanks, Will.
Sure. I want to welcome you to Courtney and Steven's wedding. We've all been anticipating the celebration for this beautiful couple, and it gives me great joy to be granted the privilege to oversee this ceremony. Some of you may not know me, but I'm essentially the older brother to all the Striscos.
Oldest.
Fairly, oldest. I was fortunate enough to meet the eldest Strisco daughter, Nancy, at a church retreat, and that chance encounter has gifted me 3 additional siblings in Timothy, Christopher, and Courtney. It has been my joy to watch them all grow and turn to find spouses, to share in the love that I am blessed to experience. This final chapter brings me, you okay? To my little sister, Courtney, and my newest brother, Steven. I've had front row seat to the love they share for one another, the genuine love where it shows itself to be patient and kind, and love that puts one another first. It is a love that protects and one that welcomes new beginnings. When I was asked to be the officiant for the ceremony, I was flattered and terrified. I'm like, I can't screw this up. I've got to make this work. So I have 2 quick things that I wanted to talk about, and we'll let it go from there. First is that love is unconditional. I once read a wedding joke. Actually, I've read a lot of wedding jokes of late, trying to make this break the ice. That it's, I'll alter him. And if you say that again, I'll alter him, I'll alter him. Maybe it's not about that. It's not about trying to change the people that we are, but instead taking us for who we are. Making sure that we have unconditional love. There's no rules, there's no strings, there's nothing attached. All that you need is the unconditional love that you spend with one another each and every day. The second thing is love is forgiving. This one, I think, is probably even more important. A lot of people think that it is having to never say you're sorry. I would disagree. It's probably having to say you're sorry often. You can ask my lovely wife. I need to say it probably on a daily basis as I mess things up. I want you guys to think about that as you are going through this. We're not perfect. It's what we need to do. You start the morning, you make sure that everything is right, and you say you're sorry at the end of the day for the transgressions that you may have done. Stephen, that's for you.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, just so we're making it
eye contact.
abundantly clear. You don't want to let the sun go down with anger. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. It's an age-old adage that is said, right? You never go to sleep angry. You never do any of that stuff. You make sure that you communicate with one another. You make sure that you know that she loves you unconditionally from the morning till the evening. And if there's some makeup along the way, that's great. Everybody needs that. So just, you need to make sure that you keep no records of your wrongs. You are not in this. It's not a competition. It's not like there's a winner and a loser. This is a joint venture. We're all silent partners who get to help. Hey, maybe silent, maybe not. We're all here to help you along the way. We're witnesses for this. It's an investment that we have all come to share with. That's really all I have. I don't have a whole lot.
Solid segue.
Yeah, I know. It's a beautiful thing. The last thing that I have is, we've heard it all, is the phrase, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud, it does not dishonor. It's not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil. All of these things I want you to think about, and then I want you to put each other's names in it. Steven is patient. Steven is kind. Steven does not envy.
You heard it here.
Right? It goes the other way too. Courtney is patient. Courtney is kind. Right? Think about that as you go through those things. It really makes the difference in a day if you can do that. It's helpful to have, as you go through that and you remember that you've made mistakes along the way and that you're just looking for unconditional love, and make sure that you keep that as your focus as you move forward. I now have the declarations. Are you ready for those? Are you ready?
I do.
All right. Steven. Will you, Steven Martinez, take Courtney Strisco to be your lawfully wedded wife, your constant friend and partner in all the adventures that life has in store for you?
I do.
All right. That was quick. I like it. Courtney, you can draw this out if you want to make him sweat a little more up here. Will you, Courtney Strisco, take Steven Martinez to be your lawfully wedded husband, your constant friend and partner in all the adventures that life has in store for you?
I do.
Courtney and Steven have elected to say their own vows. Are you ready for this?
Buckle up.
All right. I have a book.
How did you pull out the right one?
Yeah.
Because mine's in my pocket.
Yeah, because she's got hers.
Do I need a handheld?
Yes, you do. And I can even see the green light.
Testing.
Check 1, 2.
1, 2. Courtney, from the moment I saw you in those San Jose Sharks spandex, shovel in hand, scraping the ice at Tri-Valley Ice, I knew I had to do whatever it took to talk to you. Despite us both playing in the adult rec league at Tri-Valley Ice, it seemed our two teams never crossed paths. But on those most rare occasions, when they did, I'd make it my mission to try to get your attention. Time after time, failed attempt after failed attempt to try to spark up a conversation on the ice, you showed absolutely zero interest in wanting to talk to me. Eventually, I worked my way onto your team's group text, showing up to their team skates, and each time you would not be there. I learned that you were not big on the practice side of the game. Finally, after nearly a year of failed attempts trying to get your attention, I decided to try a new tactic, an unconventional approach, some might say. You were one of the rare players that had their own fan club that showed up to every single game to cheer you on. And that fan club, of course, was your mother, who would sit alone at a table by the ice, throwing back a few $5 beers, maybe a pitcher, watching you play. Luckily, that one of these days, your team was playing after mine, so I made sure to be the first one out of the locker room. Because the first person in hockey, or beer league hockey as we call it, has the all-important job of finding a table for their team to sit at. So I, of course, sat at the table right next to your mother, sparked up a cross-table conversation, dragged one of my friends, Kyle, who's in here, into the mix to come be my wingman and sit next to me. And my plan worked perfectly because eventually you came out of the locker room, you joined us at that table. And you know, most people meet their significant other after a while of you know, dating and being with them. I met your mother before you ever spoke to me once. So through that conversation that night, about an hour of talking, I learned that you worked at a hockey equipment store in Oakland called Hockey X, part-time for the San Jose Sharks minor league team, the Barracuda. And you also served on the Sharks ice maintenance team as an ice girl, thus the spandex. From that moment on, I realized that my attempts to try to get your attention didn't need to be limited to the rink. I too, like the Sharks and the Barracuda, and I too needed regular trips to the hockey store to get my skates sharpened. Luckily, I didn't have to wait long to make the trip out to Oakland, as my mom had a trip scheduled that was flying in and out of the Oakland airport, and I, being the amazing son that I am with no ulterior motives whatsoever, decided to be her carpool to and from that airport. On a return trip, I headed out early, made a stop at the hockey store just down the street from the airport, Fingers crossed you were there that day. I walked in and immediately saw you on the sharpening skates, but not wanting to make my intentions too obvious. I passed off my skates to the person at the front desk and moved on to the store to browse and try to figure out a new move to come talk to you at some point. Luckily, I didn't have to wait long because you saw the guy from the rink walk in and you immediately came over to assist me in finding whatever I needed. At that point, I was willing to outfit an entire youth hockey program if it meant that I got to talk to you for a little bit longer. We wandered around the store before I eventually settled on purchasing a pair of socks. I told you the colors I needed, and you incorrectly grabbed me a pair of youth socks. I can't remember if I didn't notice they were a child size at the time, or I just didn't care. I was just so happy to finally be talking to you. Back behind the register, you asked for my phone number to put into your system. And I joked that question was a little forward of you. And it was around that time I remembered why I was in Oakland in the first place. And my mom was probably waiting at the airport, waiting for me to pick her up. So I headed out and went and picked her up. Sorry, these pages are a little tough to do. Shortly after I left, I received a text from a 510 number saying, "Before you accuse me of getting your number out of our system, I want to let you know I got it from someone on our team. But would you like to go to a Barracuda game with a couple of the guys from the rink on Saturday?" To be honest, I don't care where you got my number from. I was just so happy that you were texting me. And of course, I accepted the invitation. I show up to the game nice and early, wanting to maximize the time I got to spend with the cute girl from the rink. I grabbed us a couple beers and headed from the concourse and made my way down to our seats. As I came down the stairs, though, I got closer to that seat, and I saw you weren't there yet, and neither was anyone from the rink. In fact, the only two people that were in those seats were your mom and your dad. I slowed my pace down the stairs, and I thought to myself, okay, this will be a little weird having a first date with her and her parents, but we can work with that. We can work with that. And it was in that moment that I realized you worked as an off-ice official for the Barracuda, meaning, yes, you were in fact in the building at the game, but instead of watching the game with me, you'd be up in the rafters keeping track of individual player stats the entire game. And this, of course, meant I would not be having what I thought was my first date with you, but a first date with your parents, alone for 2.5 hours at a minor league hockey game. And if that wasn't enough, I'd be making my first impression to her father, and now maybe sober mother, double fisting 2 pints of beers as I walked to my seat. And I stood on that staircase for probably far too long, wondering, should I leave? Before I eventually mustered up the courage and made my way down to the seat. And to this day, I don't know if that was some weird durability test that you were putting me through, but whatever it was the first day of a long 8-year journey that led us to this moment. So today I stand here in front of your family and friends, our family and friends, sorry, and I have some promises to make to you. First, I vow to always try and make you happy. Even if that means going to Disneyland, dressed up as a prince or a children's toy so that you can take pictures of us and show them to all of my family and friends every single chance you get, I will do that for you. Second, I'll do my best to give you the same incredible amount of patience that you have always given me. Like when you're repeating yourself for the 3rd time because I got distracted halfway through the first 2 attempts, but I didn't hear the first half of your statement, but the back half sounds really interesting, so I really want to hear you out. Third, I vow to support you in the same way that you have always supported me. Just like when you proudly exclaim under your breath, "That's my boyfriend," when I tell a not at all inappropriate joke at a not at all inappropriate time. Fourth, while I can't promise to be able to keep up, I promise to no longer let you share a beer or a cocktail alone, so long as I'm physically capable of doing so. Fifth, I vow to try and incorporate more fancy dates into our life because I know how much you love to dress up, even if it means I hate being the center of attention. But lastly, sweetie, I promise to love you more and more each day. Courtney, as you know, I'm not a very religious person, but the fact that someone as perfect for me as you was put into my life must mean there's someone up there looking out. I love you with every fiber of my being, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you. It's a long one, sorry.
This is why we have a podcast.
I was wondering why you didn't have the bells. Do you want me to hold it for you?
Actually, that would be wonderful.
You got it.
this. Oh God. There might be a few repeats in here.
Okay, sure.
Webster's Dictionary defines a wedding as the fusing of two metals with a hot torch. Well, you know something? I think we're two metals. Gold medals. I think you can see where I'm going with that, and it's beautiful.
We've watched the same show about 50,000 times.
When I first started going to Tri-Valley Ice, I was an ice girl, and I was shoveling at the rink in my Sharks yoga pants. And that's where you first saw me. And after watching me for a while, not in a stalker way, you saw me talking to our friend Mark McManus. And that's when you decided that that was your chance, and so you tried to join the conversation. You walked over, and I promptly said, "All right, Mark, I'm gonna head out." And I left. You later told me that you asked Mark why I wouldn't talk to you, to which he told you, well, I wouldn't either.
Good friends.
But you kept trying to get my attention, and one night you finally cracked the code. You decided that I liked beer, my mom likes beer, and she likes to watch me play hockey. So you bought a pitcher and sat down with my mom. It just so happened that that night my team needed a group picture taken, and you so graciously offered to do so. You took my mom's phone and you had it out on the ice, and later that night we had 10 photos of our team and 100 selfies of you. We still have all of them.
Make that memory, baby.
After that interaction, you got up a little bit more courage, and you decided to show up at my work. I had told my coworkers about this cute guy at hockey that chatted up my mom.
Didn't tell me.
And then you walked in. You like to tell people that I got your phone number from our computer system. But that's not true. I did write your phone number down, and then I asked my manager if that was an okay thing to do, which he told me, no, you can't do that. So I threw it away, and I had to text my friends and see if they would send it to me. Turns out they were. But you still had to put in a little bit more work after that. But you could have saved yourself so much time had you just told me that day that you were in the rink that Sam was in the car, and if you had just brought her into the shop. But who would have known that a pitcher of beer with my mom would have brought us here 8 years later?
Hail Mary.
In planning our wedding, you told me that we were basically already married. We'd bought a house together, we moved states together, we'd take care of Sam together. So nothing was really going to change. So in reflecting on the last 8 years, I thought about the traditional vows that people give at a wedding. For richer, for poorer. You supported me when I decided to leave my stable career so that I could pursue my dream of being a lawyer. For better, for worse. You put up with the endless trailers and trucks we had to rent to move to Arizona because I wasn't willing to get rid of my shoes and my purses, even though it annoyed you. In sickness and in health. You sat outside the emergency room all night after my seizures, and you supported me through all that came after that. So as we move into our life as a married couple, I vow to only make you wear a ridiculous costume to Disney once a year, and I promise that my dad's will always be slightly more ridiculous than yours. In our relationship, I've tried so many new things and foods that I never would have before. I vow to keep trusting your suggestions and trying new things. Except for riding a bike. I won't do that. And if you ever need somebody to blame, you can blame Ashley because she crashed into me. I vow to listen to you with an open heart and an open mind. And I promise to admit when I'm wrong, even if that never comes. I promise to always be in your corner, to be your partner, and to eat those late night snacks with you. This is a big page. You are the Jim to my Pam. You are the Ben to my Leslie. You're more like the Andy to my April. But you're my best friend, and I'm truly blessed to be your wife.
I want to kiss you.
He has to tell us to do that.
Oh, that's a long way to do.
Well done. All right. All right, I need to get the rings out. Got
You
lots
don't
of
have to
things.
think out loud, buddy.
Yeah, well, hey, maybe. Kind of do.
But he does.
I do. I do. All right. So I have the rings here that are the physical representation of your promises that you just made. Steven, you're going to go first.
We'll figure it out later.
All right. Courtney, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love,
Courtney, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love.
my faith in our strength together, and my pledge to learn and grow with you.
My faith and our strength together, and my pledge to learn and grow with you.
Yep,
That's it. That's all I got. All right, Courtney. All right, repeat after me. Steven, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love,
Steven, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love,
my faith in our strength together, and my pledge to learn and grow with you.
my faith and our strength together, and my pledge to learn and grow with you. Have you broken those up a little?
I was dialed.
All right. With the reading of these vows and giving and exchanging of rings, it is my honor, it is my privilege to pronounce that you are now man and wife. Steven, you may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Martinez.
Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin. I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the role and you're the whole crew will act up. Get up, stand up, come on, throw your hands up if you got the feeling. Jump up, touch the ceiling, monks, let's a funk flow. Someone's talking junk, yo, I'll bust them in the eye. And then I'll take the punks out, feeling funky. Amps in the trunk and I got more rhymes than this cops that are junkie. Sure enough, I got props from the kids on the hill with my mom and my pops. I came to get down, I came to get down. So get out your seat and jump around, jump around, jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 everybody jump, 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 everybody jump, 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 jump. I'll serve your ass like John McEnroe. If your girl steps up, I'm smacking the hoe. Word to your moms, I came to drop bombs. I got more rhymes than the Bible's got psalms. And just like the prodigal son, I've returned. Anyone stepping on me, you'll get burned. Cause I got lyrics, but you ain't got none. If you come to battle, bring a shotgun. But if you do, you're a fool, cause I do to the death. Trying to step to me, you take your last breath. I got the skill, come get your fill. Cause when I shoot the gift, I shoot the kill. I came to get down, I came to get down.